Welcome back, everybody,
Welcome
to
back.
the Against
What's
the Grain
happening?
Talk Show. We have a special guest, Mr. Antonio Gonzalez.
Hey,
What's going on?
this is the man.
That's it.
It's a very good friend of mine. He came on today so we can kind of talk about
Cultural things.
cultural things. So Hispanic cultures versus American cultures.
Yep.
More specific as far as Hispanic culture goes is Venezuela, because you're actually from Venezuela.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah, South America.
South America.
South America,
Good stuff.
man.
So how at what point did you come over to America?
2001.
2001?
August
2001?
13, 2001.
Okay.
I was 14 years old.
14? Okay. So you actually got to spend a lot of time like as a kid in Venezuela.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And I'm sure like you remember a lot of stuff from your childhood.
I do.
Okay.
I do. That's the best part.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you had some fun. So you actually had time to have some memories out there, really like feeling your culture before you left the
sure.
motherland.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm
sure,
saying?
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool, bro. Because you know what I'm saying, African American, I have no idea what Africa is like, but I do plan on going back.
I got a
Should.
question. I
Should.
got
It's
a
good
quick
stuff.
question. Do you prefer African American or do you prefer American? Because that's always kind of bugged me when people, because like if you're not actually coming over from there, do you
Yeah.
really call yourself that, or
Well,
Just to have a
is it just a
I
cultural
just say
thing?
I say African American just because it covers a lot of bases, but I just prefer being called black.
Okay.
I'm not African, but I know where my heritage comes
Yeah,
from and
right.
everything. But I find it disrespectful for me to call myself an African American when I've never stepped foot in that country. You know what I'm saying?
What about your siblings?
my sibling? Well, we're all from here, so
It's just your heritage.
yeah, it's just my heritage. You know what I'm saying? Of course, like we respect the black heritage and everything, and that's mainly why I say this is because, dude, like I have so much respect for my brothers and sisters that are actually from that country, that actually had to live out there.
Right.
And, and it's not even like a bad thing. It's like I'm jealous, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I bet you it gives you crazy vibes going back to
It's
a land
different.
like that.
It hits different. So from the culture here to the culture there.
Yeah.
Just adapting.
Yeah.
It was already hard.
Right.
To do that. So
Yeah.
So
you should definitely.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to go because you think about Africa, like someone said South Africa.
Yeah,
people think of like people living in huts and shit. But bro,
No,
that's the most
man.
futuristic
Yes.
city in the world,
They
bro.
have a lot
Like,
of advanced
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, it's just like going to Wakanda almost, in a way, bro. Like really, like if you haven't Googled at South Africa, Google South Africa. I bet you'd completely be mind blown.
It's different.
So
It's way different.
Have you ever actually like tracked down like what part of Africa?
No, I haven't. But you know what? Honestly, I don't think it would be that hard, man.
Probably
Because
not.
my family is from Mississippi,
Okay.
the middle of Mississippi. So
Right.
the plantations and cotton and a lot of that stuff was like big out there. So I'm pretty sure it'd be easy if I got onto
You
something.
could probably
to find the
do one
roots.
of those like the 23andMe.
Yeah.
The DNA
Yeah,
test
yeah.
and everything like that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
That'll show
Bring
you a
it.
lot too.
Yeah, I might. I ended up talking to some of my family members on my dad's side a few years back, and I found out so many things, man. Because I really never had a chance to speak with them. But turns out, like I'm like part Cherokee Indian. I'm actually part Caucasian.
kidding.
You know what I'm saying? So like I got my white privilege.
Yeah, there you go.
Man.
But, bruh,
Get it.
Good stuff.
simply, I wasn't born with good credit though. But I'm coming for it.
Should.
Yeah,
Should,
but
for sure.
from Venezuela, bro. Like, you were born there and everything before you came here, so that was your main language. Did y'all speak English and stuff over there, or did you transition?
So in my speaking for myself, I transition.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
there is places where you could go and have this schooling and learn it
Right.
because of how I was raised. I came from the bottom.
Right.
Literally, we couldn't afford that.
Okay.
So
okay.
I got here, and it just so happened I wasn't in the best part of town.
Right.
It was decent, but we were on a project,
Right.
kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
It's called a project, even though it's small town Deer Park. You have your different,
Yeah, you're different parts of the city.
yeah. So we were on it was mainly some Hispanics and majority were black at
Okay.
that time.
Yeah.
Which I have all my dialect, all my English came from hanging out with majority of blacks.
Yeah.
Why? Because I get to a ballpark, obviously everybody's hooping. I don't know what the hell they were saying.
Right.
No clue. All I knew how to say was hi, bye.
You're
that
right.
was it. but they were kind enough, and they're actually still my friends to this day. They'll throw me a ball, throw it back. I'm like, the hell are you saying? I don't know what you're saying.
Right.
And slowly, they started talking to me, and I started picking stuff up. I'm not saying school didn't do it. School did the grammar.
Right.
But for me to come out of my shell,
right,
and actually feel comfortable enough to talk, that was on them.
That's what's up.
That was one thing that I remember, because I've been trying to learn a lot of Spanish recently, and that was one thing that me and you were talking about, and I was like, Tony, like, what is a good way that I can like start implementing some of this? And you're
Talking.
like, you're like, dude, either talk, or you said, go find your favorite movies and watch them in Spanish and just put it on repeat.
So here's the thing: I've always liked English music, right? I've always liked hip hop. I've always liked R&B, like all slow jams. And then we had MTV, which was free,
right?
Believe it or not. But
back then,
back then the MTV was like the music,
that was the culture.
So
that was the culture.
I could sing you a song, but I could not talk to you. You could sit there and talk to me, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell he's saying. I just don't know.
Like
but I could you say, hey, you know this song? Oh yeah. I sing it from start to finish.
That's
no
awesome.
problem.
That's awesome though.
That'd be
No
like
problem.
me getting on singing some Despacito.
Hey, you have. I gave him props though. He's been learning that Spanish. I see him.
That's how I feel about Spanish. Like, I can read Spanish damn near fluently. I have no idea what I read. Like, that's I did Spanish in school, and I learned how to read it. I didn't learn how to understand what I read.
It's mainly just you got to break that ice where you hesitate to talk to somebody because you might think that how you sound is going to sound stupid, or you don't know how to pronounce the words. And
right.
I'm not perfect still. There's things that I don't know.
Right.
It's always every day is a learning. It's a learning day. Like every day.
Well, hell, I mean, I've been speaking English for the last 30 years, and there's still things that.
But like so.
I make up shit. Ask my wife.
So example. Just a quick example. So young, growing up, I worked at Subway. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell any vegetable was called. So everybody was like pointing. I'm like, nah, man, you could say it to me. I need to learn it.
Right.
All this is not cutting it. It just
like point.
You want black olives? You want onions? Or what do you want?
Say the word.
Yeah.
So
I took pictures of it, and I actually had a spreadsheet with all the vegetables, all the breads, all the meats, and that's how I started learning that.
Right.
So when I went to a grocery store with my dad, he didn't know what the hell he was looking at. He just knew what everything looks like from home. And I was like, hold on, this is this is that. And then I started translating it for him.
Yeah. So you actually, like, as a young man, you growing up, you actually helped your family transition as well.
It was just me and my dad. That was the hardest time. So my brother moved, I believe 97, 98.
Okay.
And then my dad came and visited him. And then he's like, he saw what was going on at home, coming, like the whole political.
Right.
He saw it was crashing, so he's like, I got to take the youngest out. So my brother took us in. I'm thankful for it. And then me and my dad, we just became a team.
Right.
And he's just my best friend to this day, no matter what. Like, I think me and him got a closer bond than him and my other brothers, even though they're all older than me. Mm-hmm. Just because of that time we spent migrating to a different country and just being each other's backbone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
difficult.
It's a really hard. It was hard for him. I mean, it was very insecure. It became really bad real quick, and he just saw a way out. Mm-hmm. So we took advantage of it, and to this day.
And I've seen you with you and your dad, and that relationship that y'all have is amazing.
Oh yeah. No, my dad is,
and your dad is
one.
Cool as shit.
Oh yeah,
like
he's
awesome.
75. He's still getting drunk. Hey, play some music before in the morning. I'm like, hey man, I'm tired. I worked every day.
Yeah.
Can I crash?
Right.
But no, it was difficult. The whole transition. I'm not saying it's easy. You always had the racism too.
Right.
It played a very, very big role. I cried every night for a whole year. Begging him, like, let's go back. This is not us. This is not. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any friends.
Right.
I didn't have the language. Like, I couldn't talk. Everything was difficult. Doors kept shutting. He kept pushing through. He kept pushing me. It was tough. It was a really hard change, and I'm thankful though that he stuck there and
Yeah.
you know he pushed me through it.
Yeah,
So,
you never kind of. So when you're thinking about immigrants coming over here, especially immigrants that do not speak English as a first language, and I've never really put it in that perspective that you just did about how hard that must be, and to put myself like in the other side of the shoe, and if I were to go say into Venezuela like now, like with just what I know, how hard that would be in order to.
it would be to a certain extent, you know, because it might sound racial, it might not, but you will still have a privilege
Right.
because you're not from there and you're
Right.
white.
Okay.
It sounds racist and
Right.
but because you're not from there and you're somebody who's coming in, they're gonna see you as a prospect to either invest. So
Right.
they're gonna be right there with you.
Right.
You won't even need the language.
Right.
You're different. You're basically there either to invest, to have fun, or just,
Either way, it's money. It's an opportunity
there's
for them to
always-
make paper.
Right.
Yeah, there's always that money involved when you arrive at a country that it's not America.
Right.
Right.
So right.
Okay, I get that.
So
I
yeah,
definitely
that
get
is
that.
Yeah.
that is kind of interesting to think about in that respect.
It's different because you know why? Because people who did go to the country like Venezuela, they went for money.
Right,
It
right,
was because we had the biggest oil reserve.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people invested in oil. Like Citgo, that's part of us. But there was a lot of engineers. Shell was there. Chevron was there. So we did have a mixed culture, and there's still people out there. They're
just kind of
Americans or Russians, whatever. They're still there because all the investments was just that oil.
Right.
There's money there.
Yeah, there's money.
Right.
Resources,
It's
money
not
and
that-
resources.
It's not that the money isn't there in Venezuela, and that's one of the things that I kind of want to get into on the political side is how rich Venezuela actually is versus how poor the governmental decisions have made it.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about resource-wise, Venezuela is a very rich country.
Oh, we have everything.
Like a very rich country.
We make the gold. We make the oil.
There was-
minerals.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There was a point in time, not 20, 30 years ago, where Venezuela was the largest exporter of oil to the United States, even larger than Syria was.
Right. Yeah.
And so to now see how depraved the country's become over the past two leaders that have been out there, and it kind of started a little bit before that, I guess.
Yeah.
But you could probably speak a little bit more on that. But as far as like Hugo Chavez, when he came in and took over everything and took over the oil companies and made it governmental at that point, that's when you started seeing a lot of things start to fall apart.
So during his time, I believe that's when my dad decided to come over here, right? So I didn't experience the whole Hugo Chavez and Maduro's presidency. I didn't witness it. I could speak on some of the stuff that I do know, and,
Right.
and I'm aware that Chavez, he actually had a game plan. You know, he was trying to help the poor. He was handing food, kind of like here, like what people get, like the
like food stamps and
like
stuff.
food
Like
stamps.
government
So
assistance.
we had that. We had government assistance. We have money. He was hanging out like
Nice.
money, credit cards, whatever.
Right.
People were able to buy and have nice things. People was able to go out, party, have a good dinner, and you could afford it. Now here recently, 2017 is when I went back. You know, what was it? 16 years later, and I saw with my own eyes how everything had changed, and money couldn't buy you happiness.
Right.
So people who worked their whole life and have a lot of savings didn't have anything. Now the rich became poor, and the poor became a nobody
And why is that?
because of the government.
Because the government.
Is
Is it like the currency? Like is
Yeah,
it like
so
because
the
the currency wasn't worth as much?
Oh yeah. So 2017, $1 was 50,000 bolivares, right? Which then, if you exchange money, it was a lot of money. But for people who have bolivares, it wasn't anything.
Okay.
So you could have a meal, and it wasn't nothing. It would just dissolve.
Yeah.
But if you came with $100, $200, then you were balling, because you could either use $1, at a black market price, or you can use the dollar at their price, then you get shafted. Like you,
So, kind of
coin
going-
exchange, like
the coin
currency.
exchange. Yeah, the currency
Right.
exchange.
It wasn't, and now it's worth nothing. Like minimum wage.
Yeah.
As an example, right now I think it's $1.50,
Right.
$2, something like that. So,
So-
what? How could you live with $2?
So speaking on this is actually one of the questions that I had prepared for you,
Yeah, go
bro.
ahead.
Was how do you feel about the fact that the government has made all these negative decisions? You know, you went back 16 years later, you see it was completely different. How do you feel now that your country is now adopting like Bitcoin for their currency and things like that to propel forward
To
the
me?
economy?
To me, that's money laundering. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything.
Yeah.
It's a cyber coin. It's over there. They don't even have the technology
So-
to even try to manage that.
Right.
But that kind of goes on the feed though, is that any sort of currency that you have is only currency because people hold it in value.
Yeah, but
Right,
so
right.
right now they have, if you look it up on YouTube or Google, they have a coin called Petro, which is a government coin that they give you monthly allowance, and it's supposed to be where you have that back in the day money, like you're balling now, and
Right,
you're
right.
not, because they say they're gonna give it to you, but they never do. They never deposit, they never transfer, you never see it on the account, and once you do, it's just chump change.
Kind of like when we got our COVID checks.
They're a slap in the face.
Yeah.
What is $1,200?
So
Not
this
even
is
rent.
So this is my question though. All right, so because you know I'm really into cryptocurrency.
Go ahead.
You know, I actually own my own crypto. But one of the things that I noticed is that when you get into crypto, it's connected to something called a blockchain,
Okay.
and you can see anything that happens within that blockchain. If I sold you a Bitcoin for $40,000, it would show that I sold that Bitcoin to you for $40,000. It might not say your name, but it's going to show the addresses and it can
Yeah,
all
where it
be
went.
like tracked. Yeah, you can all like basically see everything. So like the government, when the U.S. government creates the Fed coin, we're going to be able to see everything they do.
They're not
Okay.
going to do that.
What? Well,
Well, I mean,
that's
you-
what they're talking. Well,
Yeah.
they're talking about a couple of different things. But I was getting to with Venezuela is you saw how like when it comes to cash,
Yeah.
you can't count the cash because you can't always follow it, bro. Because these politicians are just nickel and diamond and hustling and transferring money to this private association or this private network or to this nonprofit, and then they're just lining their pockets with it.
Not
right?
only that, but even cash right now,
Yeah.
believe it or not, it doesn't exist over there.
Yeah. Really?
It doesn't. It doesn't. So here's the thing. This cup.
Right.
This
Right.
cup over here is $5, give or take.
Right.
So over there, it'll be, I would say, 5 million bolivares right now. Now, to you, that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So in order for you to carry 5 million cash, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. That's stupid money.
And they don't have the zeros on a paper to
do
accommodate
that.
it.
So basically, what is
Everything
for the
is-
deliverance for what is it called?
Bolivares.
Bolivares. Okay. So for that, what is the backup that makes it valuable? Is it gold? Is it anything that's backing it up that makes it valuable?
So it was
Nothing.
It,
It's not worth anything.
it was oil.
So yeah, it was oil.
So it was oil.
Right now, all the currency, it's all on the computer.
Yeah.
All you got to do is make transaction from bank account to bank account.
Yeah.
But
So
then
it's
think of-
digital. It's digital currency.
it's all digital. It's all digital. It still says bolivares,
Yeah.
but it's all digital.
So
You might
basically,
carry-
they've changed the concept of what the money is. So they've taken it from something that you can physically hold into something that's not really tangible anymore because of the amount of inflation that they've had.
Yeah, the inflation is dumb.
Yeah.
There is not enough zero on a bill. It just don't make any sense. It'll look like when you play with a House of Fisher prize. It just looks like a joke.
So being that y'all just adopted Bitcoin as a currency there. Bitcoin, let's just say right now, if I own one Bitcoin, I potentially own $30,000 to $40,000 for that one coin,
for one
right?
coin.
I heard that y'all just bought a few $1 million worth of Bitcoin to propel forward your economy. Now,
So-
when it, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, go. I was going to say, so here's the problem with that, though, is even if you take Bitcoin and you implement that into your government and you're like, that's going to, you still got to deal with the fact that people don't have anything. So like you can't just start giving people coins, even if the government's buying it. You can't start giving them coins, otherwise
And here's the
there's
thing.
nothing tangible. It's not tangible.
Here's
What-
the thing about Bitcoin over there. Since you brought it up, the only people that will be able to even come close to buy one coin
Yeah.
will be the government.
Right. But this is the thing. This is the cool thing about crypto, though. You don't have to own a full. There are very few people that own a full Bitcoin, bro.
Right.
A lot of people are millionaires
I
off
understand.
of just owning pieces,
But here-
like percentages of these coins.
So
But here's the thing, though. Like, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
No,
Go
you're
ahead,
good.
go
Go
Here's
ahead.
the thing, though. Even if you want to own a third or an eighth of it, you can't. Your average person salary is $1.50, $2 a month.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is that
So here's a case of beer.
Yeah.
I was just there. March.
Yeah.
I think I went March. Case of beer. It's $20. How long would it take you to save up for a case of beer if you make $2 a month?
Oh, damn.
So if you put it like that,
Yeah, that's different.
I went and did a get together with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my cousin, whatever. $32 is what I pay at the meat market for. I'm talking about 25 people. It feed 25 people. You can't do that here, right?
Oh, hell no.
But he did
Maybe
over there.
at HEB.
But in order for your regular person to do that,
Yeah.
they'll have to save up every month
For damn near a
hustle
year.
on
For
the side.
multiple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just your average person. Now, there's a lot of people who thankfully have family
Right,
on
right.
the outside and they provide.
Right, right.
So you're able to do things.
Yeah.
There's people with nice cars. There's people with nice houses. There's people who are literally eating out of a trash can, and you see that kids,
Yeah.
4 or 5 years old, just eating out of a
So-
trash
So
can.
did you assist your family a lot
Oh,
when you got
yeah.
older? Like, did you send back, what I'm saying, like $30 fee, like
Oh, we do.
Did y'all just send that paper
Yeah.
over and be like, hey man, y'all make sure y'all take care
You
of
have
yourself?
to.
Yeah.
You have to, because if not, they'll starve.
Right.
Yeah. So the problem that Venezuela is having a lot right now is the fact that in order to have an economy, you have to be an exporter of something.
Yeah.
They have to be able to send goods and or services out into the world to interact with the world economy, and right now that's not happening. Right now, the U.S. put a lot of sanctions on Venezuela because of the government
they did hold
corruption and
back.
stuff like that. So there's a lot of sanctions on Venezuela right now that's restricting them from even being able to be a competitor in the world market. So
There's a
all
lot of
their
sanctions.
oil production and everything, the amount of oil that Venezuela could produce potentially is like 330 something billion or a million barrels a day or something like that. Right now they're only doing 35,000 barrels a day.
Is that because are these sanctions being put on them because the government in Venezuela is tired of the bullshit that the other world powers are putting on them, and they're trying to, because there
So-
are some countries that literally try to fight against the world powers because they produce so much oil, but they're not making any money because the world powers came in there and they're siphoning all of the money.
It's not
and
only
stuff.
that. It's they're trying to basically hold the president responsible for everything that's going on, which is
Right.
So if you provide materials, but they don't do the service on chemical plants, like you said, to process.
Right.
They just take that and sell it or send it to Russia, because apparently we owned by Russia somehow. So all he does, he focused on himself. So U.S. stopped to providing, right? To basically force him to either give the power to somebody else and turn himself in, because they already asking for him. I think the reward is $15 million.
What?
Yeah. So him and the second guy in command, they're wanted.
Is it for corruption or is it from like killing y'all's people or
So,
something?
drug
or-
smuggling.
Drugs. Oh,
drug
that's a lot of
smuggling,
money. Venezuela-
corruption? Then you got
Then our government, all of our government should be locked up, putting all them drugs in our
But
communities.
like I was telling Devin earlier, as a president, I'm speaking from what I see in my country. They always gonna steal, right?
Yeah.
They that's just a given, because you got the power. You
Yeah.
can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Now, if you have, like Devin said, a chemical plant, you had all of them: Shell, Chevron, Valero, Citgo, ConocoPhillips, whatever. You had all of them at home, and you had you just pumping, steady pumping. Why not provide the service to keep everybody eating?
Yeah.
You feed everybody.
Right.
You're still gonna do what you do on the side.
Right.
And do it. whatever. We don't care as long as you provide for the people.
Right. The people are important, and he
Because-
wasn't doing that.
No, so if you look it up, all chemical plants, they're working at a 15%, 20% of their capacity.
Yeah.
We have a light problem where we can't even. So light goes out every 2-3 hours for 4 or 5 hours. So how could you have a family? How could you have toddlers? How could you have a newborn at home just sweating their butt off? You can't provide food. You can't do this. That's why there's so many people migrating to different parts of the country or even outside of the
Right. Just leaving. Ultimately, just leaving.
And a lot
there's
of it is too is Venezuela actually has a very rich agricultural business.
And
Y'all have very fertile land, right?
let's
Y'all's
just say
land is
we
great.
didn't have the need to migrate to anywhere.
Right.
We made everything and we had everything until Chavez came along.
But a lot of the issues with the food crisis over there right now stems a lot from, it's kind of like a piggyback escalation from the oil and gas industry, because you're getting a lot of people out there that they can't get gas on a regular basis.
Oh no, there's lines right now.
You have to be lined
3
up
4 hours.
Really?
3-4 hours. I've
3-4
heard
days.
Just
I've
to
heard
get
days.
gas.
Just to get gas.
To
And
drive for drive for a day or two.
right now, our trucks.
All of Venezuela's agricultural stuff is all inland.
Oh yeah, everything is
So-
a whole.
What?
All those goods and stuff, they have to be transported some way. So if you have a truck driver that has to wait 2-3 days, that's time and money lost. I mean, he's not getting paid for that.
You got 3 days on a gas line just waiting to pump.
Yeah.
So
and then it just runs out, and then I got to refill it, right?
we went from having the cheapest gas you could possibly get. It was probably like, I think you can fill up your car with like 10-20 cents, to 20 liters for $40.
Bro, and y'all produce y'all's own oil.
We did. Now
Yeah.
we don't.
So they're still producing oil. Y'all just don't get
Very
any
little.
of it.
Very little.
Everything's getting
When I'm
sent.
telling you
Yeah.
15 to 20%, that's 15-20% the whole country.
It's not enough to sustain
Yeah, it's
the
not
country
enough.
at all, and a lot of it's being exported to, like you
Why
said,
we're
to
having
Russia.
so many power outages is because they haven't treated the power plant.
Right.
There's
Everything's just
Everything's just taking
everything's
its
old.
shit.
Or everything's just old and out of date. They just need to boost it up. So my question is, if the people of Venezuela are not, if they're only getting 15% of this oil, and I understand that you said that the oil refineries are only pushing at like what you say, like 20%.
Yeah.
Then does that mean that there are outside sources, like outside countries, like China,
Russia,
American,
and
that
China.
are pumping their own oil with their own people and just taking that oil and just sending it wherever they want?
They left. We're getting supply from, I think, what is that? The Middle East country.
So y'all have
Saudi
a
Arabia?
resource that y'all
Yeah.
are not even pumping.
Yeah,
Like it's
no,
just
we're
sitting
not.
there.
Yeah,
It's just sitting in there.
It's sitting there. We
Just-
have the
y'all just
largest
sitting on-
reserve in the world. It's just sitting there.
Why isn't okay? See, that's what the problem
So
is.
That's
then.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he was
yeah.
another person, if he was smart,
Yeah.
you could even make money from oil, money laundry, whatever you do with the drugs. I don't care. Just feed the poor. Just feed the
Man.
people.
Yeah.
Do let's just
So-
say I don't need to be here in the States, which I'm thankful. It's very nice living here, but it's not your backyard. It's not your
Right.
it's not your home,
Right.
and you're always gonna be looked at like you're not from here. You don't belong here. So
Yeah. So it kind of is. It basically is a snowball effect from the sanctions and from the lack of leadership that's kind of driven Venezuela to where it is right now.
it's very sad, but yeah,
So
That's wild, bro.
it's crazy.
it kind of makes you wonder, and I don't know as far as like what are y'all's policies as far as like guns and stuff like that over
We
there.
don't no regular citizen could own a gun.
So they took away, they stripped the citizens of their guns.
There's no gun rights. It's only police officer, military, stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
So they basically kept it to where the people could be controlled if it ever need to be.
And that's why
Like
they
Australia.
do it. Because we were just protesting for, I think it was like months out on the street, but we had beer bottles and rocks
Yeah.
compared to bullets and armor and
AK-47s. Yeah.
That was all on the news. That actually made a headline here.
Didn't they actually like kill some people or something like that? Didn't they get violent? And then it was just like crazy out there?
They were shooting protesters.
They were shooting protesters.
Yeah. So it's really sad to see, and you know, history tends to repeat itself if people don't learn from it. Mm-hmm. But when you have this sort of socialism or communism that comes in and starts infecting a government, you know, it can be slow at first. It can be real slow at first. I'm sure Venezuela didn't start out as, you know, the socialist communistic country that it, because I know at one point, you know, 50, 60 years ago, that it was actually prospering.
Oh yeah.
And y'all were, you know, a very key player in the world market as far as stuff goes.
We were, like I said, like there was people from Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, Peru, anywhere in the world just migrating to get
a piece of it.
Yeah,
like
piece of the pie.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so at what point, and you say that your dad back in 2001, he started seeing where it was kind of going.
He saw it a little bit earlier.
So at what point do people start to wake up to this kind of infringement upon human rights?
I want to say from 2012. Yeah, because I think there were people were still living good till that 2011, 2012.
So
actually, I had a brother that lived there, and then he went back because he saw that it was booming again.
Right.
And then kind of find out, he came back over here to the States because he just
2012-ish was right around,
savings.
which was right around when they put the sanctions back onto Venezuela, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think that was 16.
Was it 16?
Somewhere around there.
It was close to that time.
Yeah.
So, but right around that time, so they started putting sanctions back. So, do you, as a Venezuelan citizen, do you blame the U.S. at all for the kind of sanctions that they've put on Venezuela?
You know,
I know that's a really difficult question.
It's tough because of the sanctions, we have to support our family there. Right.
And it's put the people of Venezuela
on a bind,
in a really hard place,
because it was harder to find food. It was harder to say there's money, let's go grocery shopping. Like it hold back a lot, right? But now you can go anywhere and find anything you need, anything you want. The only thing you can find is money.
Yeah.
So now you got all the shelves filled up with food, no money.
Yeah.
How could you buy something if you can't afford it? Because now everything, legal wise, it hasn't hit the market as a dollar. Like they haven't changed currency. Mm-hmm. But if you go anywhere, it's dollar.
Right.
But we're still getting paid with Bolivares.
So it's become this black market now, basically.
It's 100% black market, but your salary is Bolivares.
Right.
So how could you afford something if the currency doesn't
match up? It doesn't match at all. Because they're using the U.S. dollar as the...
Because there's a lot of exporters that are bringing goods from the U.S. or any other country, and they're tagging the price as if they were in America or somewhere else.
Right. So is it difficult for people in your country to come across American money? They're like, you know, like, do they get... Because I know y'all still get paid in boniferous or whatever.
So now, because of the black market, it's kind of easy. A lot of people happen to do things to open up bank accounts here. Mm-hmm. Whether they're legal or not, I don't know.
Right.
But there are things that they do. And everything they sell, let's say I just sell you this cup, you're going to pay me, but you're going to pay me dollars.
Right.
And you're going to transfer me money to my account. And that's how currency has started flowing over there again.
So the people have kind of taken...
they took it upon themselves to go...
Basically, not create their own currency, but to adapt a new one.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or to use the currency that everyone's demanding, because they know that the Venezuelan the currency that y'all currently have right now is nothing.
It's nothing.
So it's like, why would I get $5 million?
It's a stack.
And then you can barely get a loaf of bread with that.
Yeah.
That's like the dinar when we were in Iraq, bro.
Burger.
Is it?
Yeah, like, bro, I had so much dinar over there, bro. I had just
bags.
I call it funny money.
Yeah, bags.
It's
Yeah,
funny
that's how it
money.
is. It's bags.
Hey, I'd be out there on mission, out there slinging it. Like, I'm going we're going to do
I
something.
went with a friend, and I usually go every time I go to it's called Basilica. It's it's a virgin, and I go over there and pay. I promise to her every time I'm home, I'm visiting her.
Right.
And she was like, "Okay, yeah, let's go. I'll take you, whatever." I said, "All right." We went to pay for parking, bro, and it was either $2 or I think what was the price? 80,000 bolivares. But it sounds like a lot, right?
Who would carry that much money
so I'm
on
like,
them?
I have $20, $50, $100 bills. They're not gonna give me change.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh well, I have a bag underneath the seat. Just grab the bag. That should be it. I think it's 100,000." I was like, to me, she said 100,000. I'm like, man, hold on, that's a lot of money. Let me count this. So it was just a loaf of just bills, just stacked. Literally, like if you were a smuggler, and you had a seal bag, that's where the bills were. So I ripped the bag, and here I am, just pulling out a stack. Here you go. That's how I paid him. He took it
Just for parking.
Dude, but that's nothing. That was like,
Is it paper?
yeah, it's paper. But
They're
that was
just
like
wasting
50
money. They're just wasting paper. It probably costs more to print the money than it's worth.
But the thing is that was probably worth 50 cents.
I want to kind of because
just-
when you say that it was probably probably cost more to print than it is worth. The U.S. Penny is more expensive to make than it is worth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because
it's a lot of things here.
It's made out of copper.
Well, it's not even made out of copper anymore.
Not
Really?
anymore.
Not
But
anymore.
Used to.
It used to be.
It's
Yeah.
a percentage of copper, though, isn't it? It's like a small percentage
very
of it.
small. It's
Yeah.
like next to nothing. But it kind of makes you wonder, like, if this little piece of metal that we're saying is 1 cent, right, is not really worth a cent, then why are we even circulating it anymore? Why are we still making them? Mm-hmm. Like, our inflation, it's not nearly as bad, and so I don't want to do a comparison to it or anything like that.
You gotta be glad that it ain't.
But we are on a track where we are in hyperinflating our currency right now, so we are experiencing that. Where I think, like, if things continue the way that they are, 50, 60 years from now, ain't nobody going to be carrying change.
What?
Change is
I
going to
don't
be
even
pointless.
carry it now.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think I do for the car wash just to vacuum my car. But that's
Yeah,
about
but
it.
at that point, the car wash is going to cost more.
Well, you can now use your debit card.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like that. But it kind of makes you wonder, like, what is the point at a certain point when currency gets that bad? What is the point of keep printing it?
That's a good question.
I don't know the answer to it.
I wish I had that answer.
I just feel like right now the only reason that they have pennies, nickels, and dimes and all that shit is so you can break it and you can make change in multiple different ways. I don't see any other it having value. I don't see it providing a value.
The only thing my bad. I didn't mean
No,
to
you
cut
go
you off.
ahead.
The only thing that I still don't get to this day when I go home is okay. I'm okay with the dollar, right?
Yeah.
It's cheap for me because I'm coming from the U.S.
Yeah.
And I'm flying. I'm balling out.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, but if you go to the store and they say, "Hey, man, this cup of coffee is $1.75 or $1.73," and you hand them $2, this is how messed up the economy is. They don't have any change, so it's either $2 or no coffee.
Man, so they really just ripping you off.
Why would you ask for $1.75 or $1.72 if you don't have any change to give?
So that they
Right.
can make that extra money.
Well, I mean, it's kind of happening.
It's
here.
black market,
It's kind
bro.
of
It's
So
like, what it is.
everything
What it
over there
is.
right now is black market.
It's kind of
Everything.
That's
It's kind of a
crazy.
little
Wow.
bit happening
That's
in the
thievery,
United
bro.
States
Yeah,
with that too.
that's how it is.
Well, as far as the change thing,
Or
right?
they'll say, "Oh, well, get a lollipop. That'll be $2 with the coffee and the lollipop." I don't want the lollipop.
Yeah, just give me my change, bro.
Yeah.
I can
They can't.
I can go buy a whole dinner for 2 days with the change you give me from this $2.
That's just It's sad, but
that is sad though, bro. That's
And
a
I
straight
feel-
hustler mentality.
I feel for the people there, even though, man, when you go there, it's just a different vibe. Over here, we were just talking about that at work. Mm-hmm. When you go to the store, how they say hi to you?
Yeah.
You just get it.
What's up?
You go to the store there, even though they're living in their worst time right now, they still greet you. They still, hey man, how's your day? Hey, you need anything? They still come at you with their best attitude.
Right.
Even though they're suffering inside, and you don't know how much that people is going through, or how much that person, how much pain does he have inside, and yet they still. It's just a vibe.
Yeah,
it's
the
a
hospitality.
different
You
vibe.
get that Chick-fil-A smile.
And you,
So
at all times.
Yeah,
and
always.
you don't get that here.
That's true.
I hate it.
That's true.
Sometimes
kinda-
you might not even get it high. You're like, hey.
Yeah.
I say hey to you.
You gonna say something?
You know?
I want to kind of say something as far as that goes, because I mean that shows real integrity as far as the people that are still working the jobs that they're working down there in Venezuela, right? That they're not getting paid hardly anything for their work, yet they're still putting in the work.
They have to.
They have to, right? It's that mentality of, and we were kind of talking about this the other day on the show. That mentality of I'm gonna do my best to provide. I'm gonna do my best to do whatever I can to succeed, even if it's like an untangible goal, right?
Facts.
Whereas here in the United States is, you got somebody at McDonald's or Burger King flipping burgers for $7.50 an hour or whatever. They hate their job.
Hate it.
There are people
And give bad
in other
service over that.
countries that would kill for that,
Easy.
and they would work their ass off just like they're doing down there.
You know what? And that's a good thing, because I didn't value work until I was married, right? So when I was working as a young guy, with my dad, all my money was like, here, dad, right?
Right.
So I never valued what I was
Right.
getting paid. Or then my first job at a plant, balling out, $1,500, $1,200 a week.
Yeah.
I'm 18. I don't know what to do. I was being a fool. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Making stupid money for
What?
a stupid time in your life.
Yeah.
swiping. I got a bank account. What is this? I'm swiping.
Yeah.
I'm going negative. I get paid on a Tuesday. By Monday the following week, I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just have $1,500. What happened?
Yeah.
And then it clicked.
Yeah.
You have to become a man once you become 18.
Yeah.
But I was a young punk. I didn't value anything.
Right,
I was
right.
just balling out. And then, so it goes back to that people. They knew what they had, and they valued it. They took it away from them.
Right.
And then they still have the decency or the old school mentality to, I'm going to push myself.
So I wonder, what is the mentality? So when you say that, as far as the younger culture versus the older culture over there in Venezuela,
Oh, man.
is it like the disparity that you see here in
tough.
America?
It's worse.
It's worse.
It's worse. Why? Because you have more freedom. You have more freedom. You have no freedom here.
Right.
They know where you at all times here
Okay.
on your phone. It don't matter.
Right.
You're being tracked. Some way or another, you're being tracked.
Okay.
You know that. That's another subject for you. But at home,
Maybe we'll have you back on. We can talk about it.
at home, you got too much privilege. You can go out any time of the night. You can be drunk. You could anything you want to do besides drugs, right? They're really strict with that. But you can drink. You just can't be high and drive.
Right.
So
But
you
how does that work as far as because
There's a lot of corruption.
okay.
So if I'm a young guy and I got money and I'm drunk and you pull me over at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, what are you doing? I say, what's going to cost me to get home?
Okay.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Or he might say, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I got a kid at home.
Yeah.
Then you take advantage of that.
Right, right.
You're like, well,
Absolutely.
here's 20, 30 bucks.
Oh, they're going to take that 20-30
See you.
because they get paid
Nothing.
nothing.
Now, you say
Right.
that here to a cop.
You going to jail just for saying that?
Bye-bye. That's what I'm saying. That you have, so for the younger crowd at home, they're living what you will call their best life right now. While their parents are sacrificing, and I'm not saying all of them.
Right.
Because I can't speak for the whole country, but from what I see at home, majority of them, they find one way or another to enjoy that time. You have no school right now. All the schools are closed because of COVID, and they've been closed. But even the people who go to universities, they do online classes. you're not doing that shit.
Yeah.
You paying somebody to do your schoolwork, and then you going on party it up.
Yeah.
So with
There's no rules. There's nothing you can follow to become a better person unless you actually have the drive to be a better person and to encourage yourself not to do dumb shit to become successful.
so I wonder how much of that's going to snowball.
Everything, dude.
I mean,
it's a major crash. It's
because that sounds not
sucks.
just not like an economic crash, but also sort of a cultural crash in that respect. As far as you have a generation before, and I don't know which generation it is, but you have a generation that's older, right? That still remembers, what it's like to work hard, to have to do these things, that understands that, what's going on right now is not the norm, right? But then you have the younger generation that come in, and like you say, they're taking advantage of the situation that they can get away with certain things. How much of that's going to snowball onto their kids when they start having kids?
hard.
And then is there ever going to be a point now, or do you think that it's kind of at a almost tipping point where there's not going to be really a turning back for Venezuela?
I still got hopes. My dream will be to retire at home. I love it here, but I love my home.
Yeah,
I hope it turns around.
right. I'm sure just about everybody watching also agrees with you. Is that we don't want to see any of these countries, go to complete crap and be set on fire and basically worthless, because there's a lot that
right now it is.
I know that it is right now, but what I'm saying is that we don't want to see that. And so when you kind of going back to these sanctions that the U.S. has put on Venezuela, that's making it harder for them. There is legitimate reason for that to happen. As far as the government and putting sanctions on Maduro in order for him to start kind of releasing some of that political power that he has right now.
But that's the thing he's not going to give.
Right.
You can go, well, we were talking earlier, an election, right?
Mm-hmm.
U.S. said, hey, we want to see everything go like by his books.
Right.
He's not going to do it.
Okay, so
he's got too much money, too much power, too much pride. His ego is up past the roof.
Yeah, he's like, hey, come fight me.
Yeah.
If y'all want me to change something, come make me change it.
So
You're not going to do
what
nothing.
is the solution as far because I
can say
as far as I'm concerned, in our political sphere, I don't think the U.S. should be interventionists in other countries.
That will be the only solution besides the other thing that I'm thinking about, but I can't say it. But
right.
An intervention would wipe the country, and it'll be new beginnings.
See, but we've never seen that work, though.
But
unfortunately.
with this guy that we have as a president, it would work. But here's the thing, though. So I don't know how the whole cop or whatever, Interpol, I don't know how all that works.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy has a reward for his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just last week in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
How? You're not supposed to leave your country.
Right. So I wonder how much of that, because like you said earlier, that
I know once he touches land in another country, they're supposed to grab him.
Right.
You're not at home.
He
Ain't
was
no
just
way
in
out.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
So,
but Mexico's a wild west too, though.
And I'm proud of him because everybody, Maduro, dictator, whatever, this and that, they let him have it, and he thought he was just hot shit, and it went like that.
Yeah.
Everybody, all the countries right now know that he's got Venezuela by the balls. Like it's my country. I'll do what I want. Y'all can't touch me.
That's crazy. And he's just letting his people suffer.
Oh yeah, all of them.
But he's just
besides his circle.
His circle's eating, like his military advisors, all them people. He's doing drugs, so all of the drug smugglers and the kingpins are all eating healthy, but the people are starving. And you're telling me that being from there, that's your home country. Being from there, you feel like the best way for your country to bounce back is if the people that have the power on the outside, like the United States, would intervene and actually do something instead of just talking and putting out these sanctions that are continuously hurting the people. They should just go in and just fix it. Just go in, arrest the dude, get special forces, and it be done, and let the people vote. So that's what y'all. That's what y'all are wanting.
Because there's ways around sanctions.
Yeah.
There's ways around it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're always going to find a way around. You're always going to have food. Mm-hmm. You're always going to have water. You're always going to provide for your family. There's ways around it. Mm-hmm. You can stop everything from coming in. We're still going to find it. One way or another, we're going to find it.
Like y'all still have, you know.
There's people partying out right now.
Yeah.
Party.
There's always going to be a way, bro.
So unless you take away the main source that is holding everybody from become better.
Right.
You're just going to be plateau.
So the only problem, and I'll just say this from a historical standpoint, the only problem that I have with full-on intervention into a country's political system is that if the people of that country are not willing to then take over the reins for the United States, and after, say, we go in and we fix, you know, I'm not saying how we fix it, but we fix the situation in Venezuela. If we go in there and we fix it, right, then if the Venezuelan people don't, you know, change from their old ways of, you know, electing whoever,
right,
and they elect another, be corrupt, then it's just going to turn back, and then we will have wasted all of our time and resources into fixing basically a broken thing. So it's got to start with,
in a way, we don't know that at 100%.
Right, but just historically, that's what's happened in the past. Yeah. I mean, when you look at the Afghanistan.
True.
Right?
True.
I mean, we were there for 20 years trying to fix and trying to start a democracy over in Afghanistan. It fell apart in 10 days.
Yeah, but but when we say things like that, we also got to think about how corrupt the United States is. We were in Afghanistan for a completely different, and we say on the front end, we were trying to help them develop a government and stuff. But really, bro, it was about the drugs. It was about the poppy. It was, man, there's a lot of stuff that we as American citizens, because we're citizens, we're not smart enough to understand what the government does behind closed doors. But I feel that, like what you're saying, is I feel like it would work if we're doing it out of the right place. Like, the people can't do anything right now because they have no way to defend themselves. Right. It'd be different if y'all had guns. It'd be different if it was like the Boston Tea Party. Y'all just start throwing shit off. Like, it'd be different.
There's 3 guys right now running the show over there. 3.
Yeah.
If you take those 3 guys, it's over with.
Right.
There's nobody else who could step up to the plate. I think that's when the elections, the proper way will work.
Right. And the United States kind of tried when Donald Trump was running things, right?
Beast.
I don't remember the guy's name, but who was the guy that ran for president and the United States recognized as the legitimate?
Juan
Guaido. So we tried to, in a very mild sense, give legitimacy to.
But they tried to kill him.
Yeah. And he had to basically flee.
Yep.
And he was in the United States at that point.
And they threatened his family. It's just a drug lord. It's a kingpin. You can't get him out of there. That's a little Scarface going off over there.
Yeah. Here's my question, bro. How big is drugs in Venezuela, bro? Like, I know that you're saying, like, the president.
It's not the drugs. The drugs is with the president.
Right.
The smuggling is the gas, believe it or not. Gasoline. To another country.
Oh, so
the president is worried about his drugs. Matter of fact, 2 of his nephews were charged with drug charges here. FBI got him in Miami.
Really?
Yeah, he's known for drug trafficking.
So
and somehow he still manages to come on TV, 2-3 times a week.
It ain't nothing. Oh, you can go and buy whatever you want
and say how much he cares about Venezuela and how much he cares about the people.
He don't care about shit.
He does like to blame the United States a lot for the stuff going on down there.
They just seized last week in Spain. They seized 525 million euros that he had just sitting there. Come on, man.
In the bank or something?
What president?
What president has money in an offshore account? Some of our president.
What president has billions of dollars? From home. Come on,
yeah.
Hunter Biden.
He's not a president.
What did he say? Hey, Joe, come back.
Crooked money.
I guess if you kind of boil it down to a very raw state, is that it doesn't matter what political system, it's always going to create corruption because political systems by nature are about power.
Especially in Latin America, believe it or not.
Right. So Latin America, I mean, you got all these Middle East countries. I mean, even the United States. The United States,
But we have a system here that we all as citizens follow.
We're supposed to have a system, but our system's starting to crumble in a way.
Broken right now with Biden.
With the craziness in the office right now, but it's gonna be fixed.
So,
but you still have a rule that you follow here.
Yeah, I mean, we still have rules.
You're still
and we
able to find a good job. You're
Right.
still able to provide. You can go outside and not worry about getting jacked or
I just thought about something. No wonder you don't want the damn Bitcoin in Venezuela. That's just gonna provide your president with another way to hide money.
Smuggler. Yeah.
That's why you said
earlier.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but you know what? It didn't click because I didn't know everything else that y'all was talking about. But now I understand, bro. That's
a money
why
launderer.
he did it. He's laundering money now, and it can't be tracked anymore.
Put it this way. Right now we have no gasoline, right?
Mhm.
Right now we have a dealership, Ferraris and Lambos at home. Who could afford that? And they're out on the streets.
Yeah.
So who can afford a Lambo?
The
Somebody's
people working
getting,
with the president.
somebody's getting money.
That's wild, man.
Oh, you're right-handed man.
that's why
So you
he
bought a
did that.
dealership and you stacked all the Ferraris at a country that don't even have gasoline. To do what? To ball out. To have your people around you. We got this.
It would
And
basically-
every time you see somebody driving, you know who they are. You can't touch them.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Say something and then have yourself killed, or have your mom killed, or have your daughter?
So when we're talking about, so this is kind of like the classism in Venezuela. That I'm sure that there's a huge disparity as far as class goes in Venezuela.
Oh yeah.
Where
crazy.
and you're starting to see certain things, and I don't want to compare it, like I don't want to be insensitive or anything like that, but you're starting to see sort of that same mentality kind of take over in the United States in some ways.
But it's been here though. Like
Yeah.
people with money has been here.
Right, right.
Over there, you just now seeing all these exotic things. Just they open up a casino. We could go to.
How?
Thank you, and that's in the capital, Caracas.
Yeah. Doesn't make no sense. None.
They're just gonna. That's
You open a
it's just-
casino,
all
but
that
you don't
is
have
a-
nowhere to eat.
That casino is just a big recycling bin. Like, like they're bringing in all that money that's worthless. It's like, to do one slot machine, you're gonna sit there for 20 minutes
It's
putting
just-
money into the machine.
So
No,
it's not
it-
actually their currency that they're running.
No,
it with.
Exactly.
No.
It can't be.
No,
There's
it's
no
not.
way.
It's not. It's dollars.
So that's when you start following the money, bro.
You got to think about it. That's one way to clean money.
Clean money. Yep. Casino. Yep.
clean money.
But that's the other thing too, though, bro, is that having a casino there, bro, like that they're using US dollars.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, bro, if we could follow that money,
It's a big. That's a big.
I guarantee you
big,
it ends up back with politicians in the United States, bro. There's only certain. The reason I say that is because
You can speak from that, but I can't.
yeah.
I can't.
Well, I'm saying that because one, for rich people here in the United States, there's no better place to have your bank account than into an offshore account in Venezuela.
Well, that's the thing, though. You can have an offshore account anywhere else because you know what? At the end of the day, U.S. somehow they can see all your money coming in and out, and then you're gonna get taxed on that, and then you're gonna see.
Well,
You
that's
get a
the
lot of
thing.
things.
So
Well,
me,
the rich might not get
yeah.
that, but
So
we
that's
get
what
that
I'm,
treatment.
that's what I'm trying to say. So you see, remember how you were telling us like, oh, the money's not good here, so the Venezuelans figured out a way to get American bank accounts.
Yeah.
That's what Americans are doing here to avoid the American system. If you get a bank account like right
I
now,
got you, I
you
got
feel
you.
me? If you get a bank account in Venezuela, there's no way they can check that money, bro.
Yeah.
You can. That's why cryptocurrency and all of that stuff is so huge with the wealthy right now because there's billionaires right now with multi-billions of dollars just sitting on a card somewhere
Yeah.
in cryptocurrency, and you don't know. The government can't check it. The government can't ask them to see their ledgers. Like, bro, if you get the right crypto wallets, bro, you can put all of your money into there, and you can just, if you want to buy groceries,
Done.
you can go to HEB. You can go up to their little cryptocurrency machine. Whatever crypto you need, you just plug in your little thing. Boom, you pull
Done.
out however much money you need. Bam.
Yeah.
There's no bank account.
Yeah.
People, rich people are getting away from having American bank accounts to having crypto wallets and having. In Venezuela right now it's like they're investigating a lot of people from America.
Yeah, they are.
that have
They're
bank
actually
accounts.
shutting
There.
a lot of accounts. I know friends friends of mine that have gotten their accounts
Seized?
closed.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
they don't hold your money. They just, hey, your account's been closed. Here's a check.
Yeah.
For whatever money you had. Don't get it. But how?
Right.
Let's just say you need a visa to travel.
Right.
You're never going to see that money.
You never.
And
Never.
there's a lot of people, all the embassies right now, they're closed. They've been closed.
That's
How
wild.
could you even apply for a visa?
That's crazy. But
Yeah.
they're figuring out a way to do it though, man. But dang, man,
they're
that's
trying.
wild.
They're trying.
Man, that's
Well,
wild.
I mean,
though.
any time that we close any sort of loophole on anything, or we try to stop any sort of corruption, there's always going to be people that try to find new ways to do it.
Right.
That's just human nature. I mean, we're gonna. I say we, but the human race is always going to try to deviate from whatever sort of powers are trying to hold us down. But kind of speaking toward the things that I see in the United States as far as the classism goes. Okay, so just recently we had the what is that called? The thing that Nicki Minaj wouldn't go to, the Met Gala.
Oh, the Met Gala, the $30,000 ticket ball that all the rich people go to.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. It's
So-
crazy.
You didn't go?
No,
You didn't
I didn't get it. I didn't get an invite.
I was just trying to take the pictures. They ain't want me.
I almost took Nicki Minaj's spot. I was like, man, I could twerk a little bit, I'm
Thick
sure.
and thick.
But
You know what I'm saying? We out there. We out there.
but then
Yeah.
they saw my face and they were like, no.
It's. But I see what you mean by
But
that, though.
as far as the classism goes, I mean, when we see these politicians in the United States start enacting rules for the common folk, right? So you, me, the people out there working blue collar jobs, are when they start enacting these rules as far as vaccine mandates, as far as masking mandates on these people, and then you have a elitist party that the rich and the higher classes go to, $30,000 a ticket. Not a single one of them was wearing a mask.
Not one. Not
But
one.
yet the CDC is still recommending if you're vaccinated.
And in some parts that are mandated.
Yeah.
Right.
New York.
Yeah.
You can't
It
go.
was-
You
it
can't even
was-
go out to eat.
It was in
without
mandated
your
spot.
vaccine card.
But the way they get around it is they say, oh, it was for entertainment. So entertainment places are exempt. Like if you're performing or something like that, or at the Emmys. The Emmys too was another
Yeah.
one.
Nobody was wearing a mask.
Not
in
a
there.
single person, but
Yeah,
all the people that are serving them, all the waitresses, all the bellhop,
Yeah.
whoever's there working, they're all wearing masks,
Right.
but not the social elites.
Yep. Hey, we're going to a new generation of Jim Crow, bruh. Where if you're not vaccinated, you gotta get your food in the back. And I'm telling you, I'm not fucking going back to that, bro. You'll see me in the streets tearing some shit up with my boys before you ever see me show somebody a card to go and get food for my family, bro. Y'all crazy, bro.
So why do
they
you
just
think
had that incident in
why
New
do you,
York?
Yeah.
With the Houstonian.
Yep. Yep. So why do you think the government, or I'll say the government, but why do you think one side of the government so much now is trying to disarm its populace? Why are they trying to disarm us?
because they're about to do something that we're gonna want to shoot them for.
that's basically what
But
it
that's the
boils
thing,
down
though.
to.
They need to be aware that at least we in Texas and we all got guns. Like they need
Hey,
to be
some of
aware.
us is
There's like
All the
100
South. All the
there's like
South.
100 guns per person in Texas.
Bro,
But
I
like,
would just like
it's
to
like an
say, do
insane
you know
number.
how many veterans?
But that's the thing. Like I
out
understand
here?
if you were doing that and the American people didn't have the rights to own a gun or to have a rifle or whatever, but you're fucking with the wrong people.
But
Period.
that's the first. In order for a government, any sort of dictator, any sort of communism, any sort of socialism, any sort of,
But that's the thing, though. I don't think that's going to fly here. They already did it once.
They tried.
What I'm saying is,
They'll do it
in
again.
order for those governmental systems to be implemented into a society, they first have to disarm the populace. If people
They
are
can't.
able, no, what I'm saying, just hear me out. If people are able to defend themselves, that's never going to happen.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
So it's never going to happen in Texas.
No.
Even if the government, somehow dismantles, 50% of our population, Texas is seceding. There's no way that Texas is going along with that.
No. Never.
There's
Never.
no way that our military, the people that are in our military,
Yeah.
I know so many military members that are either retired or still active
Yeah.
duty.
Yeah.
They would
Tell me.
not be on board with that at all.
Bro, I have, dude, I'm telling you, you know how we talk on social media and stuff and like the stuff that we post. Dude, my veteran brothers and sisters, oh, bro, we already,
Yeah.
I wish they would, bro. We outnumber the military. The veterans outnumber the military, and we are trained.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
Are you fucking serious, bro? You trained us to be about this life. Are y'all sure y'all want to take this road?
So
They're not.
if you just want to just take
What was I don't want to mess up.
No, you're
but
fine.
they already killed one of them years ago, way back in the day.
one of
The president. It was
yeah
Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go,
Kennedy. Yeah, he got assassinated. I think
And
there's actually
I
been
believe that was
And then-
internal. That was
Yeah, it was an internal. It's proven. It's proven.
So they'll do it
yeah.
again with Biden. No problem. It's pointless.
So-
This dude, it's
Hey, what did we talk about a year ago? Remember we said Biden was the fall guy?
Yeah, but so here's the thing though, is that I think we're kind of past that point. Well, okay.
No.
I don't want to say that. So
let's just say it could happen.
Yeah, we always got to keep an open mind.
Anything could
Always.
happen.
It could.
Stay prepared.
Anything could happen.
Because I don't think they're going to wait for the American people to be like, okay, let's protect America. Screw the dictator. No, we're not going to let it get to that point. I don't.
So here's
I've
the
been telling
problem.
people that
Here's the
too, bro.
problem.
That's how I
with-
feel.
Here's the problem with anything like that. That if it were to happen, God forbid, and I don't want anybody, to, do violence on anybody or anything like that. Like I would never encourage that. But if anything like that were to happen to our current political system, it would be dialed to 100 the way that they turned the January 6th riots or insurrection. It would be dialed to 100.
Dude.
Like you think like what they're doing right now to January 6th and trying to warp that narrative into this was an insurrection of America and we almost lost our freedoms because of it and blah blah blah. Like
Their lies.
It would be
We'll never lose our freedom.
It would be
No.
dialed to 100 if somebody were to assassinate a sitting president. And I'm not saying any particular one, but if they were to assassinate a sitting president in the United States, that polarization of the country would be dialed to 100, and we'd almost certainly have almost civil war breakout immediately.
Yep. And you know what? Violence. I speak fluent violence. Very fluent. Multiple languages.
I'm gonna have to edit that.
I don't think it'll get to that point.
I really hope it doesn't, because the best thing that I can see going forward in America right now with our current political system is I could see like a healthy divorce of the country, but I do not think that on the two paths that we're on politically, the two spectrums, I do not think I will ever see them in my lifetime converge back together. I think we're too far gone. I think we're too ideologically different at this point that it's just going to keep moving further away from each other, and we're not going to be able to find common ground. I mean, when you have people that they won't listen to your opinion or they want to shut down your opinion in the United States just because you believe a certain thing, I don't think there's any fixing that. It's going to take generations in order to fix that.
Yeah.
Are you think there's more followers than a go-getter one right now? Followers mean they're just following his orders. They're going on that path. And then you have the rebels or the go-getters. They're just going to put a wall and be like, hey.
I don't know because
As of right now, with the whole.
So I think it's twofold. So I think that the polarization, I think it's amplified. And I think it's amplified by a number of things, but most certainly it's amplified by social media.
Right.
I think when people
social media
are able to get on a platform where there's basically zero accountability, like say if I were to start something with you, right? And I was to start something with you face to face, I would be a lot more careful about what I was saying to you because of fear of repercussions of some sort of physical harm to me or something like that.
Why?
Because you're bigger than me. Like straight up. Like
That makes sense. It makes sense.
But what I'm saying is, like, if I was to get in an argument with you about something, right, and we disagreed on something, I would be a lot more keen to go more extreme if I was hiding behind a keyboard, which is kind of
okay.
Yeah, keyboard warriors,
Right.
bro. That's how it is.
So what we have right now is an amplification of differing views because people can hide behind a keyboard. They can be hide behind, and they're not going to be confronting this person. So say if somebody was like, I think everybody should be vaccinated. I think you should be forced to be vaccinated. That person's not going to come up to me.
And you don't even know if that person is even vaccinated.
Right.
Yeah.
But my point is that person's not going to come up to my face and be like, you need to get the vaccine. You're killing people, blah, blah, blah.
See, I was
like, they're not going to come up to me and do it.
Me, and he knows it. I was against it. Like, I wrote it out to recently?
Yeah.
Like a month ago? Yeah. Why? Because for me to go home, it'll be my flight ticket plus $250 if you're not vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to go home as much as I can.
Right.
I'm not paying an extra $250, so I just gave in.
Right.
That's
So-
how they get you, though, and that's what sucks, and that's how they get you. But you know what? This is one of the things, since we're on the whole social media thing, we are very correct on that. Y'all two are very correct on that, and social media is a monster right now. And the reason that it's a monster, it's made to make us have this perception of the world that might not be true.
Right.
And the fact that if someone, let's just say Biden posts something, right? You ever notice that all Biden's posts, anytime he does a speech, anytime he does anything, they always mess around with the analytics and stuff and the likes and shit, because he normally always gets way more. He gets like 10 times more dislikes than he does positive things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all ever notice that?
Dude, I've noticed
And
that.
I'm quite sure he's not the one typing that.
Yeah, yeah.
He can't even talk.
He can't even talk.
Yeah.
But this is the thing I'm trying to say here, though, is because I work with a lot of social media and stuff for what I do as a living. But I started to notice that there are a lot of bots. There are a lot of things that are going on. I really truly feel, man, there's not as many people going along with this shit as we think. I think there's a lot of people that might have gotten the vaccine out of fear in like their jobs and their livelihoods. But I don't feel that there's a lot of people out there that are saying, you know what, all y'all need to fucking get the vaccine. You're this, you're that. I really think that's the media portraying that, because at the end of the day, man, how many people do we see dead in the streets? We see California have tent cities in people's neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And you don't see thousands of fucking homeless people dead from COVID in the streets, and they don't get any medical attention. They don't get any medical nothing. So it kind of seems that like the only people dying from COVID are the ones that go into the hospitals and stuff. But that's just me. But listen, what I was trying to really say is the media is so powerful that they can kick off the standing president from their platforms. They can change over the fact that people only see democratic posts and Democratic videos and Democrat this and Democrat that, and then they take away or they shadow ban all the Republican stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they can do that, but let alone the internet, and they can take down anything on the internet, but you won't take down child pornography. You won't take down.
And they can track that.
And they can track that.
Yeah.
They can literally, if you look up the wrong thing on Pornhub, they'll fucking, hey, you looking up child. They can do that.
Right.
But they won't take it down.
But they won't take it down. They can what was it? iPhone last month. They were like, hey, iPhone is about to start tracking in the cloud if you have child pornography. Man, these politicians better get rid of their cell phones, because I know plenty of people that are going to be going down on that. But let alone they're controlling it.
Everybody that was, associated with Weinstein will.
You have that what was it, Trump's buddy?
Yeah.
On child pornography?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's so many politicians.
All that money
Yeah.
just for a kid?
Yeah, for a kid. Yeah, man. Like what's the deal with that? But it just blows my mind that they can, like, if we were to get on Instagram right now and we were to say something like, Joe Biden just lied about the coronavirus cure. They said that
It'll get deleted.
Yeah, they were like, he said something like, if Biden, he's
it'll
like,
get deleted.
Oh yeah, it will get deleted. But they say something crazy.
They can mute your video. They can delete it. They can suspend your account.
I'm not saying they don't do that, but
you're talking about the president. They're gonna hold. Yeah, no,
I think a lot of that it kind of depends on how much traction that gets. So I mean, you can still see like smaller people. They're still able to put out content. And they're still able to say certain things. Every once in a while, if it gains too much traction, then it gets deleted, or it gets
shadow banned, or something.
Shadow bans, or it gets a little asterisk on it, like, hey, this is false information. Fact checks or said blah blah blah. Whatever bullshit they're saying that day.
Right.
But it kind of goes kind of back to what you're saying, as far as it is a very loud polarization that we have online in that space. And so I think there are two separate factions when it comes to the polarization in America. There's those that are very much an online presence, and then there are the people that are kind of a lot more middle of the road, which is your normal everyday American, which they really don't care one way or another. Yeah, they'll think one way, and they think that pretty strongly about this, but they're not going to go out and they're not going to go protest anything, and they're not going to do this and they're not going to do that.
Sure.
And I think we have a lot more of those, but it's so loud through the media and social media that it's amplified and then exaggerated. So, and I don't know at what point that table is going to turn. Because I mean, we're seeing in the polling numbers right now that even in Democratic states like California, that something like 34% of people want to secede from the rest of the states. They don't want to, even Democratic states, they don't want to deal with Republican states anymore.
Right.
Republican states, they don't want to deal with Democratic states anymore. You got California.
a bunch of bullshit.
You got California coming on and saying, "Hey, we're not going to accept anything from, or not California, but Oregon maybe, or Seattle or somewhere up there."
It was Oregon.
Was it Oregon?
Yeah, it was Oregon.
Saying that they don't want to take anything from Texas anymore.
Yep.
They don't want to buy anything from Texas. They're done. And so we're seeing this kind of split. And I don't know how much of it is exaggerated and how much of it is actually people, because I haven't gone out and talked to a lot of people about how they feel, you know, on a personal bit, like personal level, how they feel if half the union was to secede from the other and just have this like kind of civil divorce of states. I don't know how many of those people there are actually, or how much of it's being exaggerated. So maybe that's something that we can go out and ask people.
What I really want to know is, dude, I'm tired of every day they're coming out with a new poll, a new study, a new this, a new that. Dude, you remember when we were in school and we wrote a paper for English? Or, you know, when we wrote that paper, we had to do what at the end? Put a works cited page, right? Where we got the information from, who we quoted, where we quoted it from, when it was written, right? Yeah, right? So
you remember that.
Yeah, right. So, you know, why you were saying something earlier about social media, people can go unchecked. You can just say whatever. Remember when Corona first came out, people were like, "Oh my God, they're throwing people in unmarked graves in Syria, and they're doing in New York, they're throwing people in 18-wheeler trucks that's overflowed." And then someone showed a video of them walking around, and literally it was a ghost town, and nobody was even there.
You got to be kind of careful with that, because when I don't think you realize it, but you're also making an argument for them fact checking on the other side.
Well, I'm just saying in general, though. They'll fact check anything that we put out. But when these congressmen come out, so-and-so, Florida has just raised 52% in COVID cases over the last week. Where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
Texas has just had
an outbreak
and Where'd you get that information? Hey, COVID, they just said that the Delta variant is this, and if you don't have the vaccine, it's this, and if you don't, show me the exact people who did this study. Let me read on this study myself. That's what I'm saying, bro. A lot of this stuff that's going on right now in our country, in our media, it's all theater, bro. It's all a bunch of made up stuff that can't show us the paperwork.
How could you fight against them people?
You can't fight them. We just have to understand as the people that they're liars, bro.
That's one of the things that's kind of kept Venezuela where it is too, though, when you're talking about the media.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The state owns the media in Venezuela.
Yeah.
It's all state run.
So you can only see what they allow you to see.
Right. So it really is kind of like Korea.
No, like, it's worse.
China, like you can't, because in China, like they literally won't let you be on Facebook.
Yeah.
They don't allow the kids to play video games over 3 hours a day.
You can have social media, right? Mm-hmm. But you can only watch on TV what they want you to watch.
Yeah, so like any information that you're trying to get,
anything related, media-wise is what they want to
just say. On TV, so you can still Google whatever you want.
It is like North Korea and like China in that respect, where they do have state-run medias. Both of those countries have state-run medias.
The only difference is on YouTube, you're limited to what you can search. I don't know how they do that.
So that goes through.
They can do that though.
You're limited on like Netflix. You're limited to what you can watch on Netflix.
Can y'all get VPNs?
Ooh.
In Venezuela?
Not sure.
That would be a really interesting thing. Maybe you can ask around to people that you know down there. I wonder if they can get VPNs, because VPNs basically redirect your IP to a centralized source, and then they reroute it. So you were able to.
I'm sure there is a way.
If you get a VPN, which if any VPN service wants to sponsor us, we're waiting for
Man,
you.
come on with it.
I like that.
Basically, a VPN, what it does is it takes your IP, reroutes it through, and then you can view.
So I had to do that on my phone, believe it or not, when I was there.
Yeah.
Because when I log into my banking, online banking, if they saw my IP at a different country, then I couldn't make large transfers.
Right.
So they're limited to like $10 a day. I'm like,
what am I gonna do with 10?
Right.
Well, actually, you could do a lot with 10.
Well, you know, when you go out. When you
Right.
you go on vacation, you want to do things. It's
Right.
a little more than $10. So I was limited.
Right.
So I had to go around that. I had to on the at least on my phone, it let me do it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
So I wonder because your phone, it's registered in the United States,
Yes.
so you're able to.
But
sort
when
of
I
get
was
the VPN.
detected at a different country, then it
Right. So I wonder if them being in Venezuela already, if they're able to even get that service, or if it's restricted. That would be a really interesting thing to
that's-
find
But then
out.
you're also saying that, like, like the average person in Venezuela is not going to have Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like, they're not going to, the power goes out for like 5 hours during the day and stuff.
even a day or two.
Yeah.
We had it blacked out in 2015. It lasted 7 days. Total blackout. Like there was
Nothing.
And here's the thing. I understand you try to make money, but when you have a blackout, they put their bag of ice, cost price $10. How could you afford that?
Yeah.
$10 for a bag of ice.
They're basically taking advantage and
But everybody's suffering.
yeah.
And then if you didn't buy it, then it just melted down. Then guess what you did? Nothing.
Yep.
See, man, like,
Man,
and I hate to,
It's
and
a-
I hate
it's
to
a-
people
compare
got
it,
such
though.
a fucked up mindset.
True.
On how they want to take advantage of people, and especially on the hardest time, you want to just you want it, you gotta pay.
Yeah.
You don't even have eyes
Right.
for
It's an
yourself.
extremely messed up situation, and my heart goes out to everybody that has happened to live in those kind of conditions, and not just in Venezuela.
No, that's just every country has.
There's lots of countries, not only in South America, but in the Middle East. There's country in China. There's all sorts of human rights being violated all across the world.
Facts.
And I would love nothing more than for us to somehow find a way to fix all that. But unfortunately, with just human nature and the way that it is, I don't think that there's going to be an easy fix at any point ever in time that's going to happen.
People just got a fucked up way to think.
Yeah, that is true, man.
So I think
that's power, bro. That's
just
power for you. People get power hungry and they see their perspective, and that's it, man. And it's just crazy that y'all have a president over there, man, that literally does not care about his people, bro.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even here in America,
I shouldn't be here. I should be here on vacation, not living here.
Yeah.
This is not my place.
Right.
but you've been kind of forced into that.
And grateful at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's not a question of grateful or not grateful. I mean,
I know, but
when you're talking
talking
about somebody being displaced from where they originally come from, where they call home, where they identify with, regardless of how much you like America, you could. I know you personally, so I know that you care a lot about America. You care, and you love this country.
For sure.
But it's
Texas,
not.
baby.
It's not even. It goes beyond that, and that it's not your. The
This is
place,
my
it's
second
not,
home.
it's not
It's
the
not
place.
my
It's not the
home.
place where you call home, right? It's not
No,
the place
it's not- it's not.
where you identify.
This is not where your
with.
roots are, bro. This is not
And
where your
so
roots
it's
are.
really sad to see, people that are having to flee from places that they love so much, that they're not able to be there anymore because of the corruption.
loved.
I mean, it's horrible thing.
And even my parents to this day, it's like, we're here.
Yeah.
You're here.
Yeah.
Man, my heart is over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
So.
You can't change it.
That's wild.
We suffer. We came.
So what do you think the
All
next
that.
step is for your people, man, over there in Venezuela, bro? Like, what do you think? What do you feel like is going to be y'all's next move to take back y'all sovereignty, bro?
I want to say elections. I want to say the right way to do it, and hopefully it'll pay off. On everybody's mind, I'm quite sure that's what they want,
Right.
but everybody knows that that's not going to happen.
So I know y'all had quite a few, protests and different things like that, and it got violent.
Oh yeah,
with the government or stuff. But you think it's over, man? Do you feel that
it's not over? Fight will never be over. I think they're gonna pull through. I think they eventually, little by little, they'll push through and find a way out.
Yeah.
One way or another. So
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy, man. I just can't believe he's just making up more ways to extort his people, bro. Like it's just crazy. So
I mean, it happens with any sort of corrupt political system.
Right.
It's just going to escalate. There's never a point that they're gonna say, "Oh man, you know what? I think I'm good. I'm done, kind of, taking advantage, or I'm done making money." It's never gonna happen.
He's got it too good.
Yeah.
So
he's kind of like, what was that one president that they ended up killing? Man, it was a few years ago, man. Saudi. He's not a Saudi. Man.
I'm not sure who you're talking about. The last political assassination that right? Was in Haiti.
No, it wasn't Haiti. This was a few years ago, and that's crazy that they can go and assassinate the guy from Haiti who loved his people, did everything he needed for his people,
house.
Right at his house, and they killed him because he didn't allow certain things to happen in his country that the other world powers wanted to happen. So they killed him. But they won't go and kill the dude from Venezuela though. They'll have all these people assassinated. But they won't, and it's not even that.
Something's got to be there.
And this is what makes me mad, though, is you said earlier, this country assassinated John F. Kennedy, bro. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know, but the United States has a lot of blood on its hands, bro. And we're not just talking about the indigenous people from this country. We're talking about our own people who fought here. Did you know that the United States actually lost the case against Coretta Scott King for her husband? The United States was found guilty for assassinating Martin Luther King. You can look it up right now. They had to pay her millions and millions of dollars for assassinating her husband. Guess what? They also got caught for assassinating his brother.
So that's 3.
Yeah. So they assassinated all these people. They've been found guilty, but they won't put that in the history books for assassinating an American, bro.
No, because and here's the thing that people have to understand about history, and it really sucks as far as history goes, but history is always going to be written by the victors.
Facts.
Right. So no matter what you do, there's always going to be some sort of lean to one side when you're talking about history. So whether it be, the Roman Empire coming in and taking over all of that, it's going to be written by Romans and their perspective, and they're going to come out as the victors, and it's going to be written in such a way that kind of puts a good light on them, right? So when you are talking about the history of the United States, we have a lot of patchy spots in the history of the United States, like a lot. We have a lot of bloodshed. We have a lot of wrongdoing that we did.
9/11.
And unfortunately, there's two extremes to it, right? It's either written in such a way that ignores the history of what the country has actually done good versus what it's done bad. And there's no really middle ground that we have right now. So we need to find where we're calling ourselves out.
Right.
We need to call ourselves out on the things that we do wrong, and we need to be grateful for the things that we've done right.
True. Very true.
And we have to be able to compartmentalize those things and actually, learn from what we've done in the past to do better in the future. Otherwise, we're not going to do any better.
Yeah. You know what? You said 2 things that I want to comment on. One thing you talked about Rome. Rome, dude, hundreds of years, bro.
Yeah.
Rome was around for hundreds of years. They were around longer than the United States is around.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they failed, bro.
Yeah.
They got conquered. They fell, right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't because of the people. It was because of the politicians.
Yeah.
We're heading in the same direction. We're
you said something like that, right?
Yeah, like our government is corrupt on every level. That's why we hear all this stuff. We're like, oh my God, Hillary Clinton emails. Oh my God, videos. Oh my God, these elites are eating kids and doing this. Like there's all this information out there. But we're so corrupt on every level that nothing gains traction because on every level, every Democratic, every political party has somebody on that level to vouch for them.
So
and to
I wonder, and this is kind of more of a philosophical thing, but I wonder if every single political system is just doomed to fail at some point.
Anytime
I think so.
I don't think there's.
I think when
it has to be, bro.
when they want to change, I think that's when they they just.
You know, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this just from kind of like a religious standpoint, and I think that the reason that every single sort of political system is doomed to fail is because man is inertly sinful.
Yep. Facts.
Right. There's no way to take sin out of the world, and so there's no way to actually make this utopia that people strive for, because that's just it. We're doomed to be a damned species.
Facts.
So,
I'm gonna ask you a question.
yeah.
During the time that you can remember, like from whenever you were young till now, president-wise, who you think had the best run?
From the time that I can remember. Okay, so the earliest president that I remember is Bill Clinton.
Okay. So who do you think had the best run?
The best run, just purely off of
Just from where you can remember till now. I'm not talking about
Trump.
years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trump.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. He had
Yeah,
to.
I
And I'm
think-
saying that as a
I
black
think-
man, bro.
I think,
Absolutely.
I think George W. Bush paved the way for Obama and really started tearing apart the country.
What do you think about Clinton?
I mean, he was
Crime Bill
just
Clinton?
like,
Crime Bill Clinton? Man, under the jail.
But look at the economy when he had it.
so
Because all them black folks was making license plate in prison. What? Of course the economy gonna be booming when 50% of the African American male population is making license plates and all the other shit that they were doing in the 90s for free.
yeah, no,
I think Trump had a good run too.
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't.
The most wasteful?
Most
Biden.
most
I'm not-
Hispanic
the
gonna be
most
out
wasteful-
here
yeah,
sell
no,
out,
I
but
would-
The most wasteful president we ever had was Obama. He was the biggest waste of
see,
time.
I don't-
He was the biggest waste
Okay,
of time. He did
waste of
nothing.
time.
I think he did some good, some. You can't
You know
take
what?
away everything.
Let me digress. As a black person looking at what we expected from him as the first black president, he did nothing for
Now you
us.
have to
Yeah.
understand this: as a black man in a White House, you got a lot of eyes on you.
That is true.
I'm sure he was being held back from doing things that he wanted to do
Yeah,
from people.
So here's-
Biden signed like
here's
30
the thing,
executive
but-
orders within the first 2 weeks of him being in presidency.
So there's a difference, a big difference. That's what I just said.
That's true. I get what you're saying. I get what, but you're the president though. You're the president. Biden has no idea what he's doing. He almost signed all those.
Biden can't even walk to
Bro,
the
he
plane.
almost signed all those things in crayon, bro. He almost signed every executive order in crayon, but they got they corrected him.
Look, I don't want to sound racial, but he played a big part, I think, during his presidency, Obama.
Well, we can say we had a black.
Look how
president.
many people
Yeah.
judge him whenever he was hanging out with rappers, with this and that. But then
So,
when Trump got smoked by Snoop Dogg or roasted on his show, everybody laughed.
So here's the thing.
Why?
There are some things.
Media, bro. It's the media.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the
And then
media, bro.
Media, and believe it or not, color.
And you want to know what else?
Your
though, bro?
profile, I'm profile. He won't be profile.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what, man? The whole
Nothing
thing
against-
he knows what's
Yeah,
up.
he knows.
But the whole thing with Obama with us, bro, is the simple fact is he was just a cool ass president.
I think a lot of
There's
people-
nothing else.
So I think
He
a
was
lot of
just
people
cool.
came.
Obama.
They dress nice.
Obama
I saw
was
him in
very
person.
charismatic.
I think he came in too hot as a black president, and everybody, color or Hispanic or whatever, whoever rooted for him, had a lot of expectations that he didn't meet. So he let a lot of people down.
Right. But so let's just say this. If
But-
you were to Google a comparison chart from Trump
Oh, Trump is a
and
beast.
from Trump and Obama.
Trump is a beast.
I'm just speaking on like my end of the spectrum. Trump shitted on Obama
Yeah.
when it came to doing stuff for black
That's
people.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Dude,
But think about this.
instance,
Trump
like-
comes from money, business.
True.
He owns business. He knows how to handle money. He knows how to invest. He knows how to provide. Obama just had a mouthpiece.
Obama came from being black. He should have known what we were going through, right?
He did.
So how come,
All
like
he had
for
was
instance,
mouthpiece.
he's always talking about education, right? How come Trump was the one to go into black universities and give them their grants every year so they didn't have to come to the Supreme Court or the Senate and beg for money every year, unlike, you know what I'm saying, which every other university didn't have to do. But for some reason, black universities had to beg for assistance every year.
I know.
How come
Trump came through and said, here you go.
How come Trump was wanting
Trump
for
was a beast.
School
Trump was a
vouchers for getting rid of and being able to have the freedom of choice when it comes to your schooling and stuff like that. Like there was a lot of things that Trump did do that were good, right? And there were some good things for Obama's presidency. You know, there are some things that I agree with as far as, you know, how do I want to say this? There are certain liberal policies that I'm okay with as far as, you know, I'm totally cool with people wanting to legalize, you know, marijuana. I'm totally cool with people wanting to legalize drugs. I'm cool with, you know, gay marriage and all the things that come with that. I don't think the government should be involved in it, but, you know, people should be free to live how they want to live.
That's true. Live your life.
But,
just don't impose on people.
But
do you think legalizing marijuana will make how do I say that? Will make an impact, like being like job wise, growth within the business?
Yeah.
I think
would it hold back the drug lords because now they're screwed because now we can make it,
here's
provide
the thing,
it, sell it.
Right.
So
it's just
I think the economy will boom.
Yeah, the economy will go boom, and it's going to make. That's why a lot of states are legalizing marijuana because of the way that they can tax it. Because of how many people smoke and buy marijuana, they're making more money off of marijuana in these legal states than they do off taxes.
But what would you do here in the South? We work chemical plants, so how would you trust somebody?
Well, you know, that's
like if I go to the house and buy a bottle of whiskey and bring it to work. Let me take a shot before I go out there to work.
So there are some issues.
Pros and cons.
That's true. Like you mean like working, like, you know, you can't go to work drunk. You can't go to work.
You're gonna get drug tests, but how? If marijuana is legal and I have a license,
right?
Why would I get drug tests?
True.
Right.
And, it's like cigarettes, man. You know, it's just like you can smoke cigarettes on your lunch break. Can you smoke a blunt on your lunch break?
Nope.
That would be dope.
Hungry, happy,
man,
sleepy.
Fuck my boss, man. I need a blunt break. My boss pissing me off. I need a blunt break. I need to go out here.
Sleepy. Man.
I'm gonna be at the vending machine for 12 hours on my work shift, man. Where the snacks at?
Bring me back to high school,
man. I be up in my manager's office talking about, hey, bro, hey, they out of Snickers bars out there, man. They out of Snickers bars and Doritos, man. We need them
back to high school. Oh Lord.
Hey, anybody want something from Chick-fil-A? I got the munchies.
Not on Sundays.
Not on
Sundays.
But wouldn't that be crazy though? Like I do wonder that, man. Like, what are they gonna do like with that? You know, it's like, you know, like
you can't. I'm sure there's gonna be jobs like the vaccine. They're gonna require or mandate a drug test.
True.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna be out of work.
If it's legal, I'm sure that, like, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that, like, kind of like what they do with alcohol. Like, if you're like drunk on the job, hey, go piss and go do a breathalyzer.
That's the thing though, that weed is in your system for 30 days.
You can't really. There's not a really good way.
Well, I don't think that they can sit there and say, oh no, you can't smoke marijuana when you work for this job off duty or whatever.
But how do you regulate it? Is what he's getting at. So
you ain't gonna be it's just gonna be legal. You ain't gonna be able to.
No.
People gonna be high at work all the time.
You misunderstand what I'm saying. How do you regulate who's coming into work high and not?
Exactly.
You can't. Everybody people gonna come in and work high.
You're gonna be smoking on your way to work.
Yeah.
How would you know?
So that would be the problem with it. Whereas with alcohol, you can check the blood levels and see whether or not you have any alcohol.
And the minute you got alcohol in your body,
but this is the thing, though.
There's no way for you to do that with weed.
I am a constant weed smoker. Nobody has that. If you've never met me not high. Can you tell I'm high right now?
Nah.
No, you can't, right? Because I am an avid weed smoker. I smoke all the time. But the simple fact of the matter is, like, I can still function at a high level.
Yeah, but
when
there's a lot of people that can't.
Some people, I get sleepy.
Like, there's a lot.
You just smoking the wrong thing. You smoking the wrong thing.
I've known a lot of potheads. And you know, I would say more than 50% of them. I couldn't hang around them. If they were high, I can't hang around them.
Would you say a job should be allow you, let's say, a blunt, or would that be too much to be on your break.
Bruh. But you're
sweet.
I'll say this. Y'all are right because everyone's different. But also we have to remember that there's so many different kinds of and strains of weed. So, but on the other end, bro, like if you're a doctor, you shouldn't be smoking weed. If you're operating a crane, you shouldn't be smoking weed. Y'all working with
That's what
water
I'm saying.
and chemicals and all that.
Yeah.
Y'all probably shouldn't hit a blunt before you go fucking treat somebody water.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But-
So the companies will have ultimate decision on whether or not you can or cannot.
Well, they can, but people are still smoke. Like me, I would still. Well, they can say you can't smoke it. They can't say you can't smoke in general if it's legal. If it's legal, they can't. That's like a job saying, "Oh, you can't own a gun if you work
If
here."
the only way for them to regulate it is by a drug test that stays in your system for 30 days,
Well, you're screwed.
then that's the way that they regulate
You're
it.
screwed.
And that's
so
fine.
so they can, in a sense,
Like
tell you not to.
I'm sure there's gonna be like you're not gonna be required to do a drug test to go sell a cell phone at Verizon.
Right, exactly. There's going to be certain places.
There's jobs where like us, they're gonna require no
Oh,
matter
yeah.
what because you're
'Cause
walking around boilers, you're walking around scaffolds, tanks, acid, bleach.
Yeah. That's
Then your dumb ass gonna hit a pipe and then bleach all over you. Oh, he was high.
You be like, "Oh yeah, man,
So,
it's all good, bro.
yeah. So
It's just acid on
Yeah.
your leg. You all right?"
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
there's
my bones
definitely
sticking out.
there's definitely situations where I would not want somebody working with me. Like if I
Yeah.
in certain
True.
industries, there are certain industries I wouldn't want my coworkers to be high or intoxicated
us?
or intoxicated in any way, because it could prove very fatal in certain situations. If
could
the
be deadly where we at.
I
if the
get it.
person's not paying, like, because
I get
it does in a sense, mess with your psyche in a way.
That's true.
I mean, that's
It
the
does.
whole purpose of it, right?
True.
So regardless of whether or not you feel like you're functional on it, or you are functional, however you're perceived, it does to a certain degree affect your mental status.
True.
And so if you're not thinking at a clear 100%, then there are certain situations that you might be in that it doesn't click fast enough, or you don't react fast enough, that it could prove fatal in certain situations.
True.
So
that's why they have warning and danger labels. Don't smoke this cigarette, could cause cancer. Hey, don't smoke this blunt before you go to
You know
work.
what?
You could get a little.
I won't say I'm a heavy smoker, but I smoke. Right? And a lot of people say, "Oh man, you should quit." I should.
yeah, I tell you constantly.
But why do we breathe at work?
Right, and I understand that,
Right,
and so
right,
it is
okay.
but
Gotcha.
the difference between like I would say tobacco versus like
All it takes is one gas release. Done.
yeah.
How many cigarettes would it take to kill me?
Depends on what your body can take,
Right.
But
no
one
time
gas.
soon.
I'm talking about one gas release.
Yeah, that's gonna take you out. But
Yeah.
maybe like 7 cartons of cigarettes.
Devin had a close call.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
Dang.
he didn't know if he was gonna make it home.
Yeah.
So
We'll talk about that kind of off air, but
yeah, true.
it was an exciting event.
Culture.
Yeah, no, this was I feel like this was a very productive.
I think we got a lot
episode.
done. I learned
And
so
I think
much
that-
about Venezuela.
There was
today.
a lot
Yeah.
left too, but
Yeah, we'll have you back on again.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. I definitely enjoyed having you on, bro.
Oh, yeah,
you
for sure.
you definitely brought some education over here on this side, bro.
for sure.
Like, it's really cool to see how people are from other countries and then coming here, but still craving their homeland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's really cool.
So
Like, I wish
just
I had
think-
something like
I think
that.
what pushes me to go back, it was because even though I had good friends,
Yeah.
from the get go, from black to white to Mexicans, even my own race, here, I don't think I ever had the welcome.
Right.
Like I've never felt like this is it.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is where I'm gonna finish my
Yeah.
life is right here.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that. So I don't until I feel like that I have the welcome to Texas or welcome to the US.
Yeah.
Then I'm probably in peace. But till then, my heart is at home.
Mm. I feel
So
you.
I'll kind of leave everybody with this. And if you're one of those people for some reason that you don't get out a lot and talk to different people from different cultures, I highly recommend it. It's
Facts.
so fascinating.
It's a good experience,
and it not only is fascinating, but it also helps grow you as a person in such a way that you can begin to understand different people's perspectives, and you can begin to appreciate what
Yeah.
other people are going through, or they have been through. I mean, get out and talk to somebody.
And I think people should be a little open minded too.
Facts.
Because not every Latino is a Mexican, not every black is a black.
Yeah.
And not every white
Right.
is a white.
Everybody
Yeah.
has their different
So-
areas that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
come from, and everybody has their own personal lived experiences that are completely unique to them.
Facts.
You know, we can have this general overarching sense of unity from being from a certain place, but until you actually get down and start talking to somebody, you'll never know exactly what that person went through and what makes that person that person.
How hard it could be.
How hard it can be, how different it can be, just a litany of things that you can do. So get out, talk to somebody, meet somebody,
For sure.
enjoy a
For
conversation
sure.
like
Yeah.
this. I mean, it's all about learning and growing. So, Tony, we appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely,
having me,
bro.
man.
We'll
Appreciate
see
it.
you
It was
again on
great.
next
Yeah.
one, man.
For
On
sure.
the next time we have you on.
So, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see
Google
y'all.
some,
next
Google
time.
some new shit.
We'll
Yeah.
see y'all in the next one.
All right, guys.